Unmute myself 1 second.
And feel free, anybody can talk anytime they want. Like, this isn't a me only talk, but I do have a slideshow that I'm going to share just to share some of the points that I found in the book. Can everybody see that? Can you see it, Mark?
It was on, now there it's back on.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Can you see it, Deanne? I think she's muted.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just want to say,
I can hear it, or I can see it. Yep.
perfect, perfect. That's all I wanted to know. I wanted to say welcome to everybody here at the Infinitely Powerful Souls Results Oriented Mastermind. Welcome, Mark Newby. Welcome, Deanne. And welcome everybody who is watching this on YouTube. You don't know what we're all about here. This is a results-oriented mastermind group that is a part of an international mastermind group. I'm going to get a little bit into that. But today we're going to talk about Huna magic. All the power is in the universe is within you. This is one of the 7 principles of Huna wisdom. And this is something that I found in all different philosophies around the world. Whether it's religion, everything. Swami Vivekananda said all the power is within you. You can do anything and everything. He said all the powers in the universe are within you. We go through life not believing that. And it's the fact that we don't believe in it is the reason why we often don't experience the manifestation of that reality. So if you could read this quote for us, Deanne, this is what this quote from Sri Chinmoy, he's a mystic, is what this Infinitely Powerful Souls Mastermind Group was inspired from.
Sure. Okay, so your soul has a special mission. Your soul is supremely conscious of it. Maya, illusion, or forgetfulness makes you feel that you are finite, weak, and helpless. This is not true. You are not the body. You are not the senses. You are not the mind. You are the soul, which is unlimited. Your soul is infinitely powerful. Your soul defies all time and space.
Thank you so much. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time. So I really love what he had to say.
Yeah, it's a powerful quote.
It really is. And especially when you think about, soul is another word for the subconscious mind, which is much deeper than just, a mind. It's very, I think it encapsulates the universe itself, but it's really interesting to know that somewhere within our souls, there's something that knows exactly why we're here and what we're supposed to do while we're on this planet. And often it is easy to forget that purpose. It is easier to forget that we have a mission, that we have something we're here to do. And sometimes we have so many responsibilities, so many obligations, so many things coming at us that it's really easy to feel powerless. It's really easy to feel finite and weak and like we can't make those big things happen in life. This is the international mastermind community we're part of. Mark Newby, Deanne, they're both Gold Star members here. Deanne just upgraded to the Vault. I'm going to go over that a little bit, but this encapsulates, the tree of life philosophy and all the different things that we approach here in this international mastermind community, from, success habits, your affirmations, your visualization, your goals. We have a thing called the abundance game that comes with our profile that is free to anybody that wants to join this international mastermind community. You can join it for free and take advantage of that. And then we have this, the professional life is different ways to create sources of income in your life. The M3 strategy is the one that Bob Proctor talks about. It's the one that Robert Kiyosaki talks about. And that is the one that we share that opportunity with people through this international mastermind community. Mission statement. I'll read the first line, and then Mark, if you could read the second line, and then Deanne, the third. So Noble Goldman International is a conscious, aware, and engaged global community of abundance and freedom creators.
Our mission is to create 1 million millionaires who are free from the time for money paradigm. We focus on creating multiple streams of income through masterminding, team building, and effective utilization of the internet-based platforms.
The mastermind becomes an opportunity for self-mastery, where the self-transcendent shift from the me to the we to the us. As concurrence and engagement increases, the world's consciousness is then raised one meaningful and inspired relationship at a time.
That last line in here is so like just deep. It's not even funny because today one of the principles I'm going to go over is the word aloha, and that last line in there is the concept of aloha. So I mean, it's just crazy seeing it in there. I'm going to skip to that slide really quick because it's just so think about that. As congruence and engagement increases, the world's consciousness is then raised one meaningful and inspired relationship at a time. I meant to do this before I did this slide, but I'm gonna skip forward to my aloha slide. There we go. This is so deep. And anytime somebody says aloha to you, this is what the ultimate meaning is behind that, which I just found this fascinating. So aloha is, it's a magic formula for joy. Paramhansa Yogananda described God or the universe as consciousness, ever expanding bliss or joy. And Satchit Nanda, there's one other thing in there which is slipping my mind right now, but joy is a really big part of the magical experience of life. So it says aloha is the polar opposite of those discordant energies, and its etymology indicates its deeper meanings. Alo means to share an experience. So right now we are in the process of aloha right now here with everybody here because we're sharing this experience. Oha means affection or joy. So we want all the energy in the universe to bring joy into this experience that we're sharing here. And then the ha translates as breath or life force. To Hawaiians, aloha is the connective and cooperative experience, one in which sharing the energy of life with another is the formula for joy. So I just thought that was really cool. That's from the book. So let me go back here and I'm just going to end the show. Go over this really quick. So to anybody who's watching this on YouTube, there's a lot of different sources of income we offer you here at this international mastermind community. Right now, I'm taking advantage of 3 of those different sources of income. So that's really helping me out in my life because it actually is providing an income for me right now, in addition to my day job that I use to pay all my bills. So this is one of the most exciting programs they've offered. We've been waiting for this for years now because Noble Goldman's been around for almost 4 years now. So this is called NG Vault. It's a leadership affiliate program, and it's also a subscription service. So the income earning potential, it's a 3-tier system. You can max out around 140K a year. You build a team of 10 people that you're going to mastermind with every single week on subjects that you're passionate about, things that you care about, things that are going to help people experience growth and a real feeling of joy and creation in their life. And by doing that, when they upgrade to this NG Vault, that's worth up to $6,000 in annual commissions for you. And then those 10 people do that same thing. They duplicate that process. They go out and find 10 people that they would like to mastermind with. And the most exciting thing about this is the Vault offers you access to an extraordinary amount of personal development and leadership development programs. I'm taking advantage of some of those as well right now. They're going to help me in some dreams that I'm going after in my life. So reach out to me and we can get you more information on this. You can start taking advantage of this and add a new source of income to your life. And most importantly, take advantage of the Mastermind Principle as described in the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So this is from last week's Mastermind Group meeting. So in the universe, there is but one law, one presence, one power, and one substance. Is from the book by Dr. Robert A. Russell. This really encapsulates this idea that all the power in the universe is within each and every one of us, because there is only one presence in the universe. Eckhart Tolle, Alan Watts, they described it in this way. They said, you are the universe. So they said that, all of the power, all of the whatever is encapsulated in the idea of the universe, that is within each and every one of us. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it very interestingly when he said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. So this is my mentor, Joseph Murphy. He said, you will meet in life the exact reproduction of your own thoughts. I think this is a very interesting thought, because this is the first principle of Huna wisdom or Huna spirituality. This is another concept from Dr. Robert A. Russell. Absolutely amazing human being, very enigmatic. So this is Charles Hannell. He wrote one of the first books on the law of attraction back in the 1900s called The Master Key System. He said success depends on spiritual power. And that is what this video is about. This guy here, this is a short video we're going to watch, but he's going to describe this concept of mana, which is basically this thought that all the power in the universe is available to you right now, that it's within each and every one of us. And just by being engaged in this Aloha experience that we're having today, we are increasing our mana, our ability to contact and release this limitless source of power within us. So this is an absolutely amazing video. Please enjoy it, my friends. I'm going to watch it with you.
Mana.
Yeah,
Yes.
I imagine you know it better than most anybody. Well, could you give us some tips on practicing that principle?
Okay.
Like putting it into your life?
The principle she's speaking of is the one that says all power comes from within. It comes from a Hawaiian idea that everything has mana. Mana is spiritual power. A lot of people confuse it with energy, whereas energy is just one kind of mana. Mana is really the power that is intrinsic to you or to anything else, that enables you or anything else to do what it is designed to do. That's its mana. And how well it is able to do that, how much influence it has on itself and its environment, that's how much mana it has. Okay? So that's power in the true sense, the ability to do something. It basically comes from a meaning of authority, which has to do with influence. Now, the primary kind of mana is your own authority over yourself. Okay? And you build that by developing self-confidence. Or what I'd say even better, let's take a word, self-esteem. The way I define self-esteem is half self-respect and half self-confidence. Okay? And so you build up that. You learn how to respect, or you practice respecting yourself more in terms of your daily life and in relation to your world. And you practice building your skills so that you have more self-confidence. Just building skills isn't enough, because you have to feel confident about your skills. Okay? You may have the skill but have lots of doubts, well, your mana goes down. Okay? So it's combined with that belief in your own ability and belief in your own goodness. Okay? And that's where the power comes from. Now, the power is only one source for all the power in the universe, and it operates through us. Okay? And so with this idea, we say that nothing outside of you has any power over you, unless you allow it, unless you believe it, unless you expect it, unless you diminish your own power. Unfortunately, in a lot of the world today, people are taught to diminish their own power, not to believe in themselves, not even to believe in the source that they may be connected to. And so a lot of people have low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. And this is probably, from one point of view, one of the major reasons for all the problems that we have in the world. Building it up, however, is what you asked. The more you build your self-respect, the more you build your self-confidence, belief in your ability to do what is right for you, the easier it is for you then to reach out and help others build theirs. Now this is actually extending your mana. There's lots of ways to extend mana, extend influence. But one of the ways that's taught from the basic knowledge as being the ideal is you extend it through aloha. You extend it through love. Through loving, through caring, through helping. Because your power, your spiritual power increases the more you help others increase theirs. There's a lot of false power going around. False power is power that's based on fear. Okay? And people try to have power by control. If they can control themselves, or they can control life, control other people, they think they have power. All they have is people around them acting out of fear. Right? So it's a very false kind of power. It's not real authority. And it only lasts as long as the people are afraid of them. Right? Once the people begin to realize more and more of their own source, more and more of their own authority, the fear disappears, and the power that that person thought they had is gone, just like that. Right? That's why it's not real power. It's not something that they can contain and have when other people change their minds. Whereas the real mana that comes from inside, that comes from that one source, it's there regardless of what other people say and do. So build self-esteem, build self-confidence through the idea of pono and aloha. Help others build theirs, because each time you help others build theirs, yours increases. That's the way to go. Okay. Yes?
Serge, along those same lines, maybe you could elaborate a little bit on how Huna correlates to a lot of the mind-body healing techniques and things that are so popular today.
Well, it correlates, of course, very well. First of all, because of that first principle that says the world is what you think it is. And based on this idea, then all the effects that we have in the world come from what you think about the world. Because your beliefs affect your behavior. The beliefs are the source of behavior. And so all the things that you do in the world come from what you believe about yourself and the world. So you've got ideas, you've got thoughts, as well as behavior. And the body is the behavior part, the mind is the thinking part. If you change your thinking, you will change your behavior. If you start with changing your behavior, that will help you change your thinking. Okay? So they both go back and forth. Okay? The two, interestingly, in the principles, the first principle says the world is what you think it is. That's the thought. The last principle says effectiveness is the measure of truth. That's the behavior, to do what is effective. If we put those two words together in Hawaiian, ike pono means wisdom. Okay? So you don't just work with the mind in this knowledge. You don't just work with the body and the external things either. You combine them always. Okay?
What do everybody think about that?
Wow, that was powerful. I loved it.
Yes.
It's deep, isn't it? It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome when he says that the whole idea is by empowering others, you experience more of this power yourself.
Yeah, loved that. Loved it. And it's so true. Because like anytime you do help somebody with anything, you do feel good after. You feel more empowered, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You
Well,
know?
and all the mystics, they have that one thing in common. They like Sri Chinmoy said, your soul is infinitely powerful. Here he was telling you that your soul is the most powerful force in the universe, because that's how he experiences it for himself. By giving that gift to you and empowering you, he experiences more and more of that power for himself. And just like this guy was saying, and when he said that the Ike and the Pono, when you combine them, it adds up to the word wisdom. I was like, it's just,
wow.
it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's impressive. And I love how he explained as well the power of confidence and self-esteem. you know, that really resonated with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was powerful.
It's very deep. It's, it's a, because the way I see it, and most people might not see it this way, is your higher self is the universe itself. I call it God, but it's the universe, the whole universe. And just like Sri Chinmoy said, he said, your soul is unlimited. It's infinitely powerful, and it defies time and space. So if you think about your soul, time and space doesn't exist there. So it could only be the universe and whatever's beyond that. We don't even know what's beyond that. Like some scientists think there's multiverses now or something like that, but that's where all of the power in the universe exists, is within the universe itself. It gets so deep, and it's hard to follow it. But I love listening to that guy. And he mentions his name in here a couple times, and I found that video and I've listened to it twice now. And it's just like, wow.
You'll need to post in our group the name of that book, because
Yeah.
I'd definitely love to get it.
I would love to do that. I also got another book from another gentleman on Huna that I haven't got a chance to really look into. It was written in like the 1900s, but he was talking about all these miracles that were happening on the island. And he was, had a Western background. So he kept thinking, well, that's absurd. There can't be miracles happening on the island. And people were like, no, there's miracles like all over this place. And it all has to do with Huna. And the guy was like, no, that's absurd. But he spent his entire life studying and wrote all these books on it because he found out that there was all kinds of miracles happening, and he wanted to just figure out how. So this is the 7 principles of Huna wisdom, which is the Ike and the Pono combined. The first principle being thought, and then the second one being your behavior or your attitude, or the thing that you bring into this world that creates your experiences. I think it was Earl Nightingale that said, your world is largely created by your attitude. William James, the father of modern psychology, said that, we can change our whole lives just by changing our attitudes. And our attitude is a combination of our thoughts and our feelings, and most importantly, our thoughts and our feelings about ourselves. But the first principle is the world is what you think it is. So there's power in that concept, because the name of this masterclass is all the power in the universe is within you. So as soon as you allow that thought into your subconscious mind, the world becomes that. As soon as you allow this idea that all the power in the universe is within you, this is explained in the book, The Shaman's Mind, very brilliantly, but the world conforms to that idea, which is eternal truth. It's always been there, but we've been kind of taught to stray away from that idea. The second principle is there are no limits. So this, I think Charles Huna explained it very interestingly. Said there's no limit on what you can think. So your creative power as a human being is unlimited. So yeah, if the world is what you think it is and you can think anything, then there are no limits on what the world can become or how it can transform. Mana is this concept or this idea that I found in every single philosophy ever, in some way, shape, or form. And I found it specifically, all of the mystics just continually said this one thing, that all the power in the universe is within you. Charles Huna described it just brilliantly in his book. He said the real secret of power is consciousness of power. If you want to become powerful, you have to think you're powerful, you have to feel you're powerful, and you have to believe that you're powerful. And when you have those 3 things in alignment, you experience that power. And it's like this Sergey was talking, it's a real power. It's not false power. So Manawa is a concept that every single philosophy of all time has hit on this. I think Buddhism has done probably the best job as far as now is the moment of power. The Buddha taught us that if we meditate every day, there's power in being fully present in your life. There's power in that. And he was asked, at one point in his life, he was asked, about God. And he says, he never answered the question, but he said that your life will be better if you're more present minded, if you're more in the present moment. Energy flows where attention goes. So wherever we put our awareness or our focus, this is something that my mentor talked about. He said, your consciousness creates all the conditions in your world. And he said, awareness is the only power. And Neville Goddard wrote a book about this called The Power of Awareness, which is absolutely brilliant. Aloha, this is just such a beautiful concept. And it touches my heart to know that my mom was surrounded by this, this magical energy, in Hawaii when she was dying. It says the love is to share the happiness of the breath of life. So it's this concept that to love something is to be happy, to derive happiness from that thing, or that relationship, or that, that moment, or whatever. Aloha is that feeling of childlike joy that you get, that is created through love. Effectiveness is the measure of truth. I got to be honest, I haven't even made it to that chapter, so I really can't elaborate on it too much. But I'm looking forward to getting there.
I think these are very powerful statements, and there is a lot to be said for staying in your present moment.
Yeah.
To align with your now moment and stay there. There's a lot to be said for that. And your whole day changes too. If you can do that in the morning, like, you can ground yourself. So whatever comes your way, you handle it different. You see the world different. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot to be said for just being in your present moment, just being, and just appreciating the now. Because that's all we really have is a now moment. And if you go light years ahead into the other dimensions and multi-dimensions, they're still living their now moment. That's all anybody has, the now moment, the present moment. And I think when people start to really grasp that, your whole outlook changes.
Yeah.
For me, it did anyway, but.
Well, and because Sri Chinmoy says that your soul defies time and space, what he's saying there, it took me a long time to figure this out, is that the future is now and the past is now, because time and your soul defies time and space. So time and space doesn't exist there. So the person that has the New Year's resolution, they're going to lose all this weight, and, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. They're putting it off into the future, but the future in your subconscious mind, there is no future. There's only now.
My granny used to say this, tomorrow never comes. She would say it all the time, tomorrow never comes.
Yeah.
And it's so true, because today is all you have.
Yep. This moment, this time. And when the world is what you think it is, the moment of power is now, because this moment contains everything necessary to plant a new thought, a new seed, a new idea in the subconscious. Like, if you want things to change, it's better not to worry about the future or to get anxious about the past, but to be fully present in this now moment, to experience gratitude for all the miracles and all the blessings you already have, and then plant a seed for new miracles and new blessings to add to what's already here. Because I think when we look at our lives, there's so much abundance and so many miracles all around us. Mark agrees with me, and I know you do, Deanne. Our children are miracles.
Right.
I mean, they're literally walking, talking miracles. And every time I hear my daughter say something, I'm just in awe that, not only is she alive, but she's healthy, she's thriving. She brings joy with her everywhere she goes. She's getting her nails done right now, and I can only imagine how many smiles she's creating.
I think what you were talking about there too is it's being in a state of flow, and it takes a little skill to do that, because learning to just be present in your moment, it takes a little work, because your mind is always survival mode, right? So what I have to do later. So I think a lot of people shy away from this, because if you're still and in the moment, you have to feel your emotions. And a lot of people don't like to do that. They like to suppress. So if you're in that state of flow, my kids and I, we visualize it like a whirlpool. So like there's a whirlpool in our mind, that's our thoughts. And if we can clear that, it'll come down to our throat. We got a whirlpool here, you know, and if you don't clear out your communication, what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying to other people, it fills up like gunk. So if you clear it, then you'll flow further then down to your heart. And the flow just keeps going. And I find that for staying in my present moment, I work with that state of flow. So that means if I feel an emotion, I won't suppress it. I let myself feel it and let it flow. So I'm not trying to control anything. I'm not trying to change anything. You know, I don't want to determine the outcome of the situation. I'd rather just sit, feel it, let it be. You know,
Yeah.
and I think it's such a powerful state to get into.
I feel you on that. I think flow is, I mean, I think flow is the athlete saying I'm in the zone. I think it's the whole purpose of yoga, meditation, prayer, going in nature. I mean, I think when you go in nature, I think you're trying to get into the flow state because, sometimes it's hard to get into that state of mind when you're surrounded by people that, might be complaining or might be having a bad day, or maybe they're not in the flow state. So maybe you're surrounded by people everywhere that aren't in that state. So it's really hard to get in the state because you're not surrounded by, people that meditate in caves all day long. So, you know what I mean? It's like, some of these mystics may have had it too easy. And maybe that's why they came up with such great thoughts, because they were surrounded by people that were striving so hard to be in a positive state of mind and a flow state, and to allow, a negative feeling or thought to come into their mind without completely throwing you into a tailspin,
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, if you look a yogi, maybe, but look at a yogi. He had to leave. They have to leave their town, their families, to go up into the mountains. That means that they're trying to get away from the distractions.
Yeah.
They're
Oh, I
trying to
agree.
get away from negativity. So you have Buddhas and stuff, yes, but they, like, unless you're in that what's it called, that monk monastery, unless you're there where everybody's doing it, yes, but you have regular monks that just live their life ordinary. They have families and they live in the cities, and do you know what I mean, and they have to work at staying in this state just like ourselves. We have to work at staying in the state, unless you want to be a yogi and just go up into the mountains, and then maybe you'll get into some rainbow light, who knows. But
No.
I don't think that it's necessarily that they're just, let me separate myself from humanity so I don't hear that noise. Mark, I know you were going to say something there. What do you think?
I think the same thing as far as we got to work on ourselves because we're in the negative world. And so then to keep us going in the positive light. I love how you did the analogy of the whirlpool with your thoughts and your communication. That really resonated with me.
Yeah. It's
Um,
brilliant.
I know I don't even listen to the news because of the negativity.
Right.
So then some of it I do block out just to keep me away from that. I don't need that. So then I try to stay away from it. But also daily rituals. Gratitude is the biggest thing that's really helped me. It's helped me see so many things differently, see your life totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. But thanks, I appreciate it. This is amazing and eye-opening.
Yeah,
For
thank
sure.
you. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. I don't have too much more to go through, so I think we're totally on time here. This is an affirmation I created inspired by all kinds of stuff I found, but I was reading through the Psalms and it kept talking about goodness and good, it said, surely your goodness and your love will follow me all the days of my life. And it was talking about how, the love of God or the love of universe and the goodness will always be in front of you, and, kind of, cleaning all the negative stuff up out of your future. And I don't know, this concept of infinite goodness really really encapsulates the idea of God, you know, and the infinite goodness that can be found in all of us. And I like this affirmation: infinite goodness is the only presence, the only power, and the only substance in my life. You know, even when there seems like there's negative things going on, there's probably some type of goodness within that thing, or, you know, maybe that relationship that I might not be able to see, but it's there. So this is the practice we're going to do today. And this really spoke to my heart because I'm just a huge fan of blessing. I've always just loved the concept of blessing people. And it's always stood out as something that I wanted to learn more about. And I'm just fascinated by, you know, one of the things I always tell my daughter, she's 2.5, I say, I love you. And I say, God bless you. And she always says, she says, bless you. She says, I love you and bless you. And I love that when she says that back to me, because I just think it's such a positive interaction. So this is one of the most profound and transformative Huna practices is blessing, which is the cornerstone practice in the Kahili tradition. The instructions are quite simple. You are to affirm, compliment, praise, admire, show gratitude to, or bless anything that comes into your awareness that is exactly what you want, or even just symbolic of it. So that concept of awareness is coming up again. And also this idea encapsulates the law of praise from the book Working with the Law by Raymond Hollywell. I haven't been through the whole book, but he really has some fascinating things to say about the law of praise. So I'm just going to run us through this practice today. I put the concept of God bless all the families on earth now, but if that doesn't resonate with you, you can just say, you know, bless all the families on earth now. But I'm just putting this thought or this idea on in our minds. This is a scripture in the Bible I found where it was saying that it was talking about Abraham, and it's saying that he would be a blessing to all the families on earth. And it always stood out as just such a beautiful thought that one person could be a blessing to this whole planet and every single family within it. And I love that concept. So I'm just going to put it out there. God bless all the families on earth in this now moment. And so let me describe just a little bit of what he talks about in here. So he says, this is the way this practice goes. He says, if you want a better body, praise and bless those in movies, magazines, or at the gym who have bodies that you admire. If you want more money, bless any money that comes to you or anything that you see in your world that money created. So that's something that I've seen that talked about countless times in different books. If you want a certain career, affirm and admire the qualities that you need for that career that you see in others or in yourself, and bless those who seem to be at that place in their careers where you want to be. So if anybody is living their dream life in a career that resonates with where you think you would really shine as a human being, bless that person, bless their customers, bless everything about them, and it will bring you closer to that reality for yourself. He says, if you want a stronger connection to nature, praise it or care for it in some specific way. If you want increased health, bless everyone and everything that you encounter that is healthy. I put this one together because I want to experience wonderful vacations with my family, so we can have those magical moments and those times to, you know, really connect outside of our busy, fast-paced lives. So I'm just putting it out there, you know, bless all the people on this planet that are experiencing wonderful vacations right now.
That looks like a beautiful vacation spot too.
Yeah, it's Stella Island,
That's
Greece.
a vision board picture right there.
Yeah,
Right.
it is absolutely beautiful. It's a place called Stella Island, Greece, and it's designed to mimic the Maldives, which are super, super crazy expensive. It says, if you want a better relationship, feel admiration for and bless those who already have one. I put this out there, you know, God bless the infinite wealth that comes to me easily, effortlessly, and endlessly now. That's in some of the scriptures that I found in the Bible, this concept of, you know, a blessing of prosperity, a blessing of wealth, a blessing of abundance. This one I really kind of spoke to me because I found it in this book called Super Attractor: Methods for Manifesting Life Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. She's clearly living her wildest dreams. So I'm putting out there that, you know, a blessing to all the people everywhere that are manifesting a life beyond their wildest dreams. I love this quote. What if you haven't even scratched the surface yet? What if the best is still to come? And then just consider that possibility that you know, we haven't even scratched the surface of our potential and all the good things that are coming into our life. He says, if you want increased confidence, boost someone else's, and aspire to be like those that have it by blessing yourself. If you want a deeper spiritual connection, bless beauty, tranquility, and nature. I love that. If you want more happiness, bless goodness and the potentials for goodness in people and nature. So this is a blessing I'm putting out there. You know, bless all the people everywhere that are enjoying radiant health. I think that's something that everybody here and everybody watching on YouTube would like to experience. So, you know, bless those people, whatever they're doing, it's working, and we want that to work in our lives too as well. And then, you know, bless all the people everywhere that are expressing unimaginable strength every day, you know, doing something that they love to do. I thought this was a cool picture because that looks pretty hard. Oh, so, and this was one that was inspired by what he says, you know, if this is all about happiness. So he says, if you want more happiness, it's a Huna spiritual practice to bless goodness and the potential for goodness in people and the natural world. So I said, you know, God bless the infinite goodness in all people and in this natural world that is our home here in this, you know, mysterious and infinite universe. And let's see here. I think we're coming to an end here. This I just love this. This was inspired by his thing too. You know, God bless all the beauty, tranquility, and nature in this universe. Paramahansa Yogananda said, look only for the good in everything so you absorb the quality of beauty. Love that. And then if one of you want to read this one?
God bless every cell in my body. God bless myself. God bless my life. God bless my family. God bless my dreams.
So he was talking in one of these teachings, he was saying that it's really powerful to not only say yes to your dreams, but it's really powerful just to bless your life. And I've never heard anybody say that. I thought, wow, that's really simple. But I thought that's pretty smart just to bless your life in general, like the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody have anything add that they would like to bless, or does any thoughts on this practice?
You want to take it away, Mark?
Well, the biggest thing is, I guess, when it comes to blessing and gratitude and everything, one thing that's been helping me, and it was in one of the scrolls I was reading, was about loving each other and everything. And whenever someone irritates you or rubs you the wrong way, I should say, I started thinking about it, and part of that scroll was to in silence and to yourself, just look at him and say, I love you. And then now I'm thinking about that, but also I'm going, bless you and bless your family and so forth. And it changes your whole outlook, or changes my whole outlook. Instead of going down the wrong negative way, it builds me into the positive way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's smart. I need to apply that in my own life, because I feel like sometimes if you let them bother you, it can ruminate for days. And I've definitely been through that a couple times, you know, in the last couple months, where I let something go longer than it should, and just instead of just you know, putting that forgiveness out there, putting that love into it, putting that blessing. Yeah, that's smart.
I'd have to say I've been working on the same probably in the last few years, even more so. So what I find myself doing now is, let's say I go to the grocery store and the cashiers just, you can see they're not having a great day. They're just doing what they got to do. They want to get home. I will look at them and intentionally send them my light.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a form of blessing in a sense. But in my mind, I just want to shed light. I just want to spread light. I know what I'm radiating because I stand strong in my power. I love light. I love love. I know life isn't all happy. You need the positive, you need the negative. But if I see somebody's having a bad day or they're just going through the motions, I visualize like me literally sending them my light,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the hope that even though I'm away, that the rest of their day just might be a little bit better. They might be walking down the street going, why do I feel happy all of a sudden? You don't know, I
Exactly.
just gave you some of my light.
No,
So
Paramhansa Yogananda said that light is the greatest mystery in the universe, and he was saying that that's what we truly are. Is we're just made out of light, and
right.
it's hard for us to fathom it because we're so in tune to the physical world that it's hard to see the light, like this to see the light, but when you look at it on beyond a subatomic particle level, it's just light. Like he was spending time in the book, autobiography of a yogi. He was spending time with this guy that never sleeps. Like a lot of these mystics that he talked to, like never sleep, like ever. And he was spending time with this one mystic that he was known as like the the non-sleeping game or saint or something like that, or some really weird thing. But he said when he was spending time with that, the light coming off this guy was so bright he could like hardly even look at him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling this saint that he's like, I can't even look at you because there's so much light. I mean, like the whole room is just light. And the mystic was like, the saint guy was like, he's like, you're very blessed because very few people are aware of all this light that's radiating from me. You're one of the few people that can actually perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting because
Yeah.
it's like, wow, this dude's
I
so
don't
bright.
think people think in terms of that enough. Like, didn't Nikola Tesla say, if you want to know the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and light, maybe?
Something
Don't
like
quote
that.
me on that, but it's very similar to it, and I'm really interested in those hidden forces because that's what we're made of. You know what I mean? So one person's light can literally spread 750,000 people. Like light is so powerful, and it is a form of blessing. It's a form of gratitude, but I feel like it takes work for yourself in the morning. Like you got to be in that space, right? So then when you go out in your day, you can just go and spread light to everybody, but if I see somebody walking down the street and I sense they just need that little bit of light, I will like visualize it. I'm not walking around with my eyes closed, but I can visualize me sending light, like from my heart chakra to yours. Here's some light, and that is what we're made of, energy, frequency, light. It's all those hidden
Spirit,
forces.
yeah.
Yeah. So like the aura field that we have around us is so powerful and people don't really realize it. So
I want to share with you something. So this whole thing was about Huna magic, about making miracles and magic happen in our lives by, this blessing practice and kind of just touching on these 7 principles. But this is from that book, Super Attractor, and it's on light. So I'm sharing this with you because you mentioned light. And the Paramhansa Yogananda, the chapter that whole thing on light was, it's called The Law of Miracles. So it was a chapter where he was trying to explain why all these mystics could do miracles that are just, I mean, they boggle your mind when you start reading them. You're like, what? But this is it's from A Course in Miracles. And in that, I've never read the book, but it says, this is lesson 91, and it says, miracles are seen in light. So it says, this is from this book, Super Attractor, but it says, the miracle is always there. So it's saying that all these miracles are here right now. And it's saying its presence is not caused by your vision. Its absence is not the result of your failure to see. It is only your awareness of miracles that is affected. You will see them in the light. You will not see them in the dark. And I think the dark is the negative, it's the mass mind thinking. It's, you're surrounded by it everywhere you go. Like, I go to my day job and sometimes people are like, I'm over it. I don't want to be here. Oh, there's a lot of darkness there.
But
And it's
then
hard to
it's,
see the
I think
miracle.
it's important not to confuse dark with negative. Dark is simply an absence of light.
Exactly.
We need that dark because the dark is our lessons, right? And how do we spiritually grow, mentally grow? How do we do that? Is lessons. So we need that dark. So I just wanted to make sure that we're not confusing the negative because it's dark, right? Because we need it. If you think of a flashlight, you turn that flashlight on and the dark spreads this way, right? It doesn't disappear. It's just your light shines so much here, you don't see it, so we don't want to take away the dark. We want to see the dark over here, acknowledge the dark, right? And what's in that dark, what I need from this, what can I learn from this dark? And the more you keep doing that, the more your light keeps spreading out. But then there is positive and there is negative, right?
Yeah.
And some people are just completely consumed with negativity. But again, I think it's as well because they don't get themselves into that space to question themselves enough, to ask themselves the right questions. But yeah, I don't think dark really is negative. It's just the absence of light, and we need it to grow.
I think we need the dark. I just think the person that might be entrenched in that negativity, if they realized there was a miracle right there, right in front of them,
They wouldn't see it.
well, they would if they allowed the light, to bring it to pass. But I came to work and I experienced a ton of miracles in that one shift, and most of the people around me weren't experiencing similar miracles. They were telling me about their situations, their experiences. They didn't seem like miracles, but I was experiencing things that really, truly felt like they were miracles. And they were strange and they were unusual, and they weren't things that I was used to experiencing in, my 3 or 4 years of serving. So they stood out. So I'm like, wow, that was weird. I can't believe that person just gave me $17 when they should have gave me $5, or that, single college girl gave me $15, and like, that never happens. Like,
Your light attracts the light.
yeah, I mean, there was definitely some light being generated, even though like the darkness that you're talking about, I had those moments too, because like you said, your lessons are in the darkness. There is going to be some stress that enters you in your life. It's not a negative if you're fully present, if you're doing your breathing and you relax into it. It's there to teach you something about yourself. Like, hey, why did I get upset at so and so? Why did I do something that was out of character for me? But I don't know. I
think
love this
negative
meeting.
is dense as well. I think you'll know negativity. That's the way I perceive it. Negativity is dense energy. It's heavy energy. Your positive energy, it's light, it flows, it's movement. That dense just sits there. That's how we get like blocked chakras. If your throat is blocked, like you get dry throat, your throat is heavy, it's carrying all this dense energy. So it's not just that it's like dark, it's dense, it's heavy. That's the negativity, shame, guilt, fear, and you project that onto other people. And then that's what those people are getting, because that's their attraction, so they're walking around serving and they're pissed off. And who are they attracting? Those that are sitting there with that dense energy. So they're getting that. You're walking around all sunshine and rainbows and you're getting tips galore because your light is attracted to their light.
Yeah.
So people can be in the same space and have a completely different experience based on their feeling, their vibration, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Feeling, vibration. Yeah. Those are the same thing for sure. Anything to share there, Mark?
No, it's very important. The big thing is just like Deanne was talking about was that the fact that we need the dark, we need the negativity too, because otherwise we take stuff for granted too easily. That's the biggest takeaway I get because it is so true. It's so easy to take stuff for granted, but then if you see the negative, the dark, or whatever, it really opens my eyes anyway to be thankful and blessed when you see that what you have.
Yeah, I feel really blessed that you're both here with me. I've really enjoyed this. Who wants to go on vacation here?
I want to go right there and sit right there in that swimming pool.
I do
Yes.
too. I think this is the Maldives. I think my wife, anytime I say Maldives, she's always like, no, it's the Maldives. So I guess it's the Maldives. But it looks absolutely just amazing. I think I'm done with all my slides here. Yeah, one of my favorite scriptures of all time. And whenever I think of the scripture, above all, love each other deeply, I think of the human family. I always say, above all, love humanity deeply. I feel like that is the ultimate message here. I think it transcends religion as a whole. I think it's just a concept that there's one human family and we're all in this together. And when I look at my family, I see the human family. I see, families like this all over the world that, they just want to be loved and appreciated and they want a good life. And I want that for my family too. So I love this scripture. Above all, love each other deeply. I love this quote. I've found this concept so many times from people that have just lived lives that are just amazing. And the thing they keep saying is you just have to be yourself. And I think, my children here are doing such a wonderful job of being themselves. And I think sometimes as adults, we're so scared to be ourselves. I think there's been times in my life where, that's the thing that's terrified me more than anything, because you feel like maybe you're not good enough to just be yourself and still be great, and Steven Spielberg, truly one of the greatest, at what he did all time. He said, you can be great just by being who God made you, or, whatever created us, that thing created you, that you can be great just by being yourself. I love these pictures.
Yeah, I believe the creator gave us every ingredient that we need to shine.
I agree.
We all come from the same source, same ingredients. Now we take from it what we can.
I agree so much. This is from that Charles Nell wrote the first book ever on law of attraction that I think of. It's like written in like the 1900s. It says the law of attraction, the law of love, they are one and the same, and it really ties back to that scripture. That's where our power is.
Look how cute your little one is. Oh my goodness.
She really is.
So cute.
It amazes me that she's that cute. Hey, thanks so much for being here. I'm going to do a couple more masterminds on this Huna wisdom and magic in the future, just to dig deeper into it. And if you want to join me, I would love to have you here. So thank you for being here today.
Thank
Thank
you
so
guys.
much. Appreciate it. Have everybody a great day.
Yeah.
Blessings.
I'll be praying and sending you guys all my blessings. Have a wonderful day.
Sending you all
Thank
my
you so
light.
much. Thanks.